Hello, NerdyVloggers! Today is Tuesday, February 14th, 2012, which is Valentine's Day for those of you who do not know or care, so happy Valentine's Day. I honestly really don't care because nothing exciting happened to me today that had to do with Valentine's Day or had to do with anything else, so it doesn't feel like a holiday to me at all. Yep, I'm not a bitter single, I'm just an uncaring single. There we go, that's a better word for it. Yeah. I just tried to film a video on my computer instead of my phone for once, and of course it went completely wrong. And let me tell you what, if there is one thing in this world I hate, I don't hate a lot of things. I dislike plenty of things. I don't hate a lot of things though. One thing I hate is my laptop. I really hate it. And if you want me to sometime, I can make a video ranting about how much I hate my laptop. I'm sure that would be very entertaining for all of you to watch. Yep. So anyway, it's Valentine's Day. The reason I have a camo bandana around my head is because I just got back from a basketball game and I performed a stomp routine with the dance team I'm in at my school. And that was kind of exciting. Not really, actually it wasn't very exciting at all. It was just kind of stressful because we were told to get there at 7:30 and turned out we had to perform at 7:30. When we get there, when she tells us to get there, that means we should have 30 minutes before to get ready. That was stressful, but everybody showed up, thankfully. That was supposed to show up, and it went pretty okay. It was a very, very, very small crowd because it's Valentine's Day and it's a Tuesday and nobody really cares. So that's just good and dandy and fine. Alright, so this week the topic is our favorite fictional couples. So I'm going to go through some of my favorite movies and books and tell you about the couples in every single one of them. This might be one of those videos with really crappy lighting, for one thing, and also that I don't edit at all, if I can help it. So here we go. The first one I have is When Harry Met Sally, which is a movie. Obviously, this is the DVD. And this stars Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. It is my favorite movie of all time. Ask any one of my friends. They'll probably tell you how annoyed they are about me talking about this movie so much and forcing people I'm friends with to watch it. Because it's my favorite movie of all time. Basically, it's the classic boy meets girl story, but it's about two best friends falling in love, which is, for some reason, my favorite kind of romantic story. I think it's really cute when two people that are best friends form a relationship, because I feel like that gives the relationship more depth. So, yeah, it's a good movie. It was made in the late 80s, so you should watch that sometime. It's very funny. Next is The Hunger Games. My favorite couple is Katniss and Peeta. Yes, I love Peeta more than Gale. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. But I love Katniss and Peeta together. I'm sure you've heard of The Hunger Games. The movie is coming out next month, and I'm really excited for it. But even though the main focus of the books is not the love story, it is a very interesting aspect of the books, and I hope they convey that well in the movies and don't just turn it into a Twilight franchise of the whole Edward versus Jacob, Peeta versus Gale thing, because that's just stupid and pointless. Alright, the next one I have here, this is actually a series, just like The Hunger Games, but I don't have the first one because I loaned the first one to a friend of mine, and she never gave it back, and then I asked for it back, and then she told me she never took it, which is a total lie. But anyway, it is forthcomings in the Jessica Darling series, and my favorite couple in this is, of course, Marcus and Jessica, and it's just a very deep, thoughtful relationship. There's 5 books in all, and even though it does technically follow more the life of Jessica, Marcus is involved in every single one of the books. He's a very important person in her life. It's very interesting because the first book starts out with her, I think she's a sophomore in high school, and then it ends with her, like, in her mid-20s. So it's just like a very long, it's like, I think about 10 years, a journey through her life, which is very interesting. And I picked this one up because it's my favorite of the books, even though I can't really relate. This is her post-college life, which is, I don't know, I feel like that's a really fun point in a person's life, even though I've never been there before, but it's my favorite of the 5 books forthcomings. Next, I have a movie, which is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and some people really don't like this movie, but I love it. Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett, I'm probably totally butchering that name, sorry, but their love story is very sweet. In case you don't know, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is about a man who was born an old man, and as time passes, instead of growing older like everybody else, he grows younger. So it's backwards, and it's just very interesting how they finally meet in the middle, because she is born around the same time he is born, but, you know, when they meet, he is a very old man and she is a small child. But because he is aging backwards, they finally get to a point in time where they're around the same age. But then it starts to get very frustrating, because then he starts to grow younger while she's growing older, and it's a very beautiful, heartbreaking, wonderful, lovely, lovely story. The next is also a book series, of which I have the first 3 books. I have read 4 of them, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, after the second book, I read the 3rd one, and it just wasn't as good as the first 2 are. But I actually loved the second one more than the first one, but then the books after that, just, I don't like them very much. But they are part of the, I don't know what that's called exactly, but they're by Ally Carter. It's a young adult book, and this is the second one, called Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy. The first one, you probably heard of it, it's called I'd Tell You I Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You. You probably heard of it if you're into young adult fiction. It's basically just about this teenage girl who goes to a spy academy for girls, and then in the first book she meets this boy in the outside world, and it's a really big deal, and she, like, starts to date him and stuff, and he doesn't know about her double life as a secret agent student and all that. But in this book, I really like it because then another boy comes into the picture, and he is also a spy, and I just fell in love with that character even more than I fell in love with the first character. So I really liked the first 2 books in this series, and then after that I just didn't care for the books as much anymore. I don't know, it makes me kind of want to reread it though, thinking about it now, so I might do that. Next is a book I read not that long ago, and I gave my friend Sydney Freeze, I gave her a copy of this book for as her Christmas present. I cannot talk today. It is Anna and the French Kiss. John Green praised this book, and I can see why. It's by Stephanie Perkins. It's wonderful. All I gotta say is, if you want to fall in love with a fictional character, read this. The next is a movie, and it is called Remember Me. It stars Robert Pattinson from the Twilight saga, which I know is like a huge turnoff if you don't like Twilight, but he's actually really fantastic in this movie. And then it has Emily de Raven. I'm not sure how to say her name, but she's awesome because she is on Lost. She plays Claire on Lost, which Lost is one of my favorite TV shows. And I'm not going to tell you what happens in this movie. If you haven't seen this and you want to, do not read the spoilers for it, because it is so much better if you don't know what's going to happen. So all I have to say is watch this movie if you can. Next, I have the book and movie of this. It is The Time Traveler's Wife. Here is the book, and here's the movie. And I love the book and movie equally, actually, which very rarely happens to me. Normally, I love either the book or the movie more. Most of the time I love the book more, but sometimes I do like the movie more because, yeah, it just kind of depends the order. But even though there are certain parts of the movie that are different from the book, obviously, I thought it stayed true to the core and the heart of the story, which is more important than anything else. And both the movie and the book kind of broke my heart, but made me fall in love all at once, so I think that's the only thing that really matters. But I definitely would recommend it. Also, Rachel McAdams is one of my favorite actresses of all time. So, I just loved it. And then lastly is a book, and it is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And if you're a nerd fighter, you haven't read this book, oh my gosh, go read it, please. Just please go read it right now. It's so good. It is his best book that he's ever written, and I'm not just sucking up because, I'm not gonna lie, a couple of John Green's books are okay, but they're not fantastic. This is fantastic. It is absolutely amazing. So just go read that. And the fictional couple, of course, is the couple in the book. That is all. This video is 10 minutes long. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry that I can't make good quality videos for some reason on my laptop. I will try. Hopefully I can get something better next week. But I hope you found this interesting. I hoped I opened some new doors for movies and books-wise for you. Hopefully Brianna will also introduce some new things, and maybe she'll agree with me on some of these things. I know she'll probably put Hunger Games in there because we both love Hunger Games. But that is all I have to say for now. Everyone have a good Valentine's Day. I'm sorry I started out this video being so angry, but I'm gonna go now, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.